Hey guys, Hector here with another tech product review, and today I want to review the Hauppauge HD PVR2 Gaming Edition Plus. Now, some longtime subscribers might know that I already reviewed this about a year and a half ago, but way back then I just had a really shitty camera phone, no microphone, no lighting. It was just a terrible video. And to this day, this is the best that Hauppauge has to offer. And I also looked up that that's actually how you pronounce the name Hauppauge. I always thought it was Hauppauge. Anyways, so at this time, like I just said, this is the best game capture device, or even video capture device, that Hauppauge has to offer. And there's actually two models. There's like three models really. There's the HD PVR2, the HD PVR2 Gaming Edition, and the HD PVR2 Gaming Edition Plus, which is the most expensive at, I think, $175 or something. The HD PVR2 regular Gaming Edition is only like $145. So let me just talk about the differences between those two really quickly. So basically, the HD PVR2 Gaming Edition and Gaming Edition Plus, there's only one difference between the two, and that is the Gaming Edition Plus, which I have, has an SPDIF input, which is the optical toss link, whatever you want to call it, input in the back of the device. The regular Gaming Edition does not have that, and that's pretty much it. And I think it's pretty much useless to have this sort of input, more or less useless, because the HDMI cables and inputs can record 6-channel audio just like the SPDIF input can. And this Gaming Edition Plus just says, oh, this one can record 6-channel audio, 5.1, whatever, 6 channels. It's the same thing. But unless they mess with some other hardware in the regular Gaming Edition, the HDMI should be able to record 6.1 audio in either version. I just want to get that out of the way. And now let's talk about it. Just a review in general. As you can see, it's an external capture device. There are some internal ones that you put inside your desktop PC. This is external, so it can connect to a desktop PC or laptop, but it does have to connect to a computer. It is a micro USB input, and it connects to a computer through a regular USB, but it has to be 2.0 at least to keep up to speed. And your computer has to be halfway decent. The system requirements are a laptop or desktop PC with 3.0 GHz single core or 2.0 GHz multi-core processor or faster. Has to be Microsoft Windows. I worked it on 10, but the package says 8, 7, Vista, or Windows XP Service Pack 3 because 10 wasn't out at the time this product came out. But again, I run Windows 10, so it works just fine on Windows 10. You need an HD TV set with an HDMI input, and your computer needs 512 megabytes of RAM, but 1 gigabyte is recommended. It needs a graphics card with 256 megabytes of RAM, but I thought the website said 512 megabytes was recommended. It does not say that on this package. You also need a sound card, and 220 megabytes of free hard disk space. And it says a CD-ROM drive for software installation because it does come with a CD with the software, but it is always best to go down to the official website and download the latest drivers and latest software, because actually they keep updating the capture software and keep adding new features, and the software today compared to the software when this was released is a billion times better. So make sure you go to the website and download the latest software. And included in this package, HD PVR2 Gaming Edition Plus High Definition H.264 Personal Video Recorder USB 2.0, and you also need this 6-volt 1.6 amp power supply, so it does need an external power supply. And then, as I said, USB cable. It is micro USB to regular USB, as I already said. I believe the USB cable was 6 feet. No, it's 9 feet. And the power supply cable is 6 feet. Also comes with a 2 meter, which is basically 6 feet, HDMI cable, and a PlayStation 3 component video gaming cable with Hauppauge AV adapter cable. So you will not be able to record HDMI signals if it has an HDCP encryption, which is the PlayStation 3. It was the PlayStation 4 before they added an option to take off HDCP copy protection and all that stuff. So if you don't have a special device that takes off the HDCP on the PlayStation 3, you have to use this cable with this input and then its component cables. And then you plug it into this cable, which is S-Video input, and it has this, well, it's S-Video output and this for input, which is component or composite. So red, green, blue, and then white and red for the audio. But if that's for component, if you're using composite, which is just yellow, white, and red, you actually use the blue and the white and the red. Well, it's black on the outside and then white and red in the inside. And you just plug this S-Video into the back and it'll work just fine. But on the software, you have to actually select composite or component or HDMI before the video actually shows up on the preview window. So the back has an HDMI in, an HDMI out, an AV in, which is that S-Video. It looks like a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, micro USB, SPDIF input, and 6 volt at 1.6 amp power supply input. And I believe this IR thing right here is the IR blaster. I say I think because all the sales pages and even the description page on the Hauppauge website doesn't have this exact same I/O input output on the back as mine does. And it says it doesn't have IR blasters, but mine does have some IR things, so I don't know, it's really confusing. And on the top of this little video device is a little button. So if you're playing a game and you can't get to your computer, or you don't have the monitor up and you don't want to press capture, you just press this little button and it'll start recording. But it might take a while for the software to load up if your software isn't already loaded up. So you have to run your capture device software and then click it, and then it should start recording. And to know that you're recording, this whole little strip right here will go from yellow to green. So this can record up to 1080p 30 frames per second in one of 3 video file formats. We have MP4, which is pretty common file usage, and then there's TS and M2 TS. Those are the AVC HD file type formats, and you have to use those 2 formats if you want to be recording the 6-channel audio. MP4 does not allow 6-channel audio, only 2-channel stereo audio. And the bit rate for the video can be altered with a little slider, so it can go from 1 megabit per second up to 14 megabits per second. But the audio, if it's stereo, will only be about 114 kilobits per second, but if it's 6-channel, it'll be about 640 kilobits per second. So this box and pretty much all listings online say no delay, HDMI pass-through, component video, HDMI in, HDMI out, and all this stuff. 1080p 60 frames per second, even though it can only record 1080p 30 frames per second. So I just kind of want to clear it up because it gets a little confusing. So basically, the HD PVR2 has an HDMI in and HDMI out. You get the video game console, get an HDMI cable out of the video game console into the HD PVR. Then you get a second HDMI cable out from the HD PVR and into your TV. That gives you up to 1080p 60 frames per second video feed with no lag whatsoever. Press left, it goes left, press right, it goes right on your TV screen. It's 100% fine. However, again, you can only record up to 1080p 30 frames per second, and there is a massive lag on your computer screen. So you bring up the capture software, there's a little preview window, and when you press left on your console or on your controller, it'll take about 4 seconds maybe, and then it'll finally go left on the preview window on your computer screen. So you have to, well, yeah, I guess you can press record and have a 4-second free time, and just in case you might think you missed something, you won't miss anything. But if you want to screenshot something, it's pretty much impossible to get a screenshot at the exact right moment because of the delay on the capture software on your computer. And make sure you have a few second delay when you're done recording, when you're done doing live commentary and all that stuff. Wait several seconds and then end the recording, because if you don't, it'll cut off a few seconds because of the delay. That's pretty much it for the hardware. So let's take a look at the software, at least the software up to date. And I believe the latest update was in September last month of 2015. So there's been quite a few new features and updates, so let's take a look. Here we are with the Hauppauge capture software. It is kind of good, kind of bad. They have made a lot of improvements over the years, but one of the things that keeps bothering me is this is how it starts up, and if you maximize it, it goes like that. So there's still some, it can't fit 16:9 aspect ratios, and there's still some down here that's kind of hidden. So down here, this little camera button, that's the screenshot button. It'll show you the input resolution. Again, you can input up to 60 frames per second and output, but the it will not record over 30 frames per second. And then you have the mute button or the audio switch, lever, slider, whatever you want to call it down here. And here's the big record button. And apparently this is a new feature. It's a skip back record thingy. So if it's on, you can go a few minutes back and record something that happened a few minutes ago, basically. And so that's a pretty cool new feature, but it's only available with TS and M2TS file types. If you turn it off, you can choose MP4, which is the more common file type. Video in, you can choose HDMI, component, S-video, or composite. Audio in, you can do HDMI. Line in, which is that 3.5mm audio plug thingy, and then SPDIF, which is the optical toslink, which is, well, both SPDIF and HDMI can do the 6-channel audio. Then you can choose your mic right here. I have my Yeti microphone, and then you can alter the game's audio and the audio of the microphone and the audio of the PC, which I haven't really tried the PC audio because I don't want to pick up anything from the PC, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe if your computer has an internal microphone, maybe that's it. I'm not 100% sure, but I have tried the microphone with the software, and whenever I record, for some reason the audio level goes extremely high and there's a ton of static, and I just gave up using this software to do commentary or to record my microphone. I use a completely different software to record my audio, and then this software to record video. And then once you're done recording video, you can kind of edit it here. You can play, add, delete, rename, and then you can cut and stuff. Just in case you don't have your own video editing software, this is kind of okay. And then you can export it to MP4 when you're done. And then there's a YouTube tab to upload your video files directly to YouTube. I never really do that, so whatever. And then the Stream Ease tab allows you to stream your video to Twitch, Ustream, and the new YouTube live streaming. I try to connect my channel, my YouTube channel, to this device, but I still haven't been able to get it working. I have been able to stream to Twitch, and it can stream up to 720p at 30 frames per second, and the stream quality can do a max of 6 megabits per second. You can do auto scaling enabled or disabled, mess with the microphone again, and I guess that's really it for the streaming capabilities. And then over here we have the settings, where you record your stuff, where you save your snapshots, video decoding, full video, iframe, none, use hardware acceleration, and they just added a webcam setting to this latest software version. I haven't really messed with it, but you can edit the face cam position apparently. I don't have my webcam plugged in, so yeah. You can do 4:3 aspect ratio or 16:9 frame. There's up to 8 frames, I'm not sure what that is. Low resource mode, and then you can add your own personal logo too, which I have not messed with because that is another new feature. Over here Again, under the capture settings, there's an advanced tab with other software features or settings, whatever. You can do a different output resolution and output frame rate, so you can downscale if you want. Even standard definition, get even smaller. But I think most people want to do the maximum settings as much as possible. Video encoder, profile, base, main, high, levels. I do not know what these are, the profiles and levels, but of course latency, low, medium, and high. I did low latency, and let's see if I can prove this. Alright, I'm gonna click the right trigger right now. And that's how bad the lag is on this preview screen. So you cannot play your video games on this preview screen, but thankfully the pass-through is 100% lag-free. In standard definition aspect ratio, you can do auto aspect ratio, or you can do 4:3 or 16:9 for the standard definition aspect ratios. Then you can mess with brightness, contrast, saturation, hue, mess with the audio encoders. I always do the max, and I chose 384 kilobits per second, but when I was playing this game, it only saved in about 114, so I don't know what's the deal with that. Then AAC sampling rate downscaling. You can do 48 kilohertz or downscale it all the way down to 8. Or not kilohertz, kilobits per second, I guess. No, I think it is kilohertz. Anyways, TS audio, analog audio boost, disable HDMI AC3 support, use multiple audio tracks for recording, capture original AC3 tracks for multiple track recording. Audio decoder, you can choose ArcSoft Audio Decoder HD or Main Concept AAC decoder, I suppose. I'm not sure if these will change depending on the computer. I have MPEG audio decoder, Microsoft DTV DVD audio decoder, Hauppauge MPEG layer 1, 2 audio decoder. I just had these all on the defaults. AC3 decoder, that's the only option for me. Microphone, you can do a delay, however many milliseconds you want. HDMI pass-through, use HD PVR2 settings, use TV settings, merge both of them, and the new webcam encoder, auto or CPU encoding. And that's pretty much all there is to the software, the Hauppauge capture software for the HD PVR2. And that's all there is to the Hauppauge HD PVR2 Gaming Edition Plus. As I said earlier in the video, it's best to get just the regular HD PVR2 Gaming Edition. You do not need the Plus. And this is, I would say it's perfect for the average gamer, streamer, YouTuber, and all that stuff. It's not overly fancy, it's not crappy or anything like that. So if you want to buy it, I will leave a link in the description to an Amazon listing, and if you use my link, I will get a small cut of it and it won't cost you anything extra. It'll just help keep my channel and my website and everything like that running. So that's pretty much it. Like this video if you appreciated me doing it, or if you found it informative or anything like that. And subscribe if you want to see any gameplay videos, commentary, strategy guides, and sometimes some tech product reviews like this. Usually tech products relating to video games, but not always. If you want to see any of that, subscribe. I'm Hardcore Hector. That's all I gotta say. See you later.